My beloved child, pause for a moment and listen closely to me. This is not an ordinary moment, and these words have not reached you by chance. Something is shifting around you, and heaven is moving in ways you cannot yet fully see. I, your Lord and Savior, am speaking to you now, and I want you to receive this with an open heart. I placed this message before you at the exact time I knew you would be ready to hear it. I have been preparing you for this through every storm, every quiet season, every night when tears filled your eyes, and every day you waited for answers. I carried you through those moments so that when this hour arrived, you would recognize it. What I am revealing is not reserved for some distant future or a later season. It is unfolding now, in this very moment. If your attention drifts away and your heart becomes distracted, you may overlook what I have already begun to set in motion for your life. I am drawing near to you with a voice that carries clarity and a presence that reaches beyond doubt. There have been times when I spoke in whispers and gently stirred your heart, waiting patiently for you to notice me. But this moment is different. This is a sacred appointment, a holy interruption, and a divine encounter. The opportunity before you carries weight, and what is shifting in the unseen requires your awareness and your response. Heaven's timing has reached an important hour, and I do not want you to pass by it as though it were ordinary. You are standing at a place where your willingness to listen, trust, and obey will shape what you are able to receive. That is why I am speaking with such conviction and such unwavering love. You have asked me for a sign. You have prayed for direction and pleaded for clarity concerning my will. My child, this is the confirmation you have been seeking. This is the answer you have asked me for. Every word that follows is given with purpose. These are not empty statements or passing encouragements. They are truth breathed from my spirit into your life. You are hearing this because I arranged this moment long before you knew to ask for it. I knew your heart would need strength. I knew your soul would long for reassurance. I knew your faith would need to be reminded that I am still here. Do not allow doubt to convince you that this is coincidence. Do not let the enemy persuade you that this is merely imagination. I am speaking directly to you, and I want you to lean in and listen. There are things already unfolding around you that cannot be delayed. The shifting has begun. What seemed closed is beginning to move. What felt still is already changing. I have set a divine plan into motion, and it will not stop because of hesitation or fear. The blessings I prepared, the restoration you have longed for, and the answers you believed were delayed are already making their way toward you. Even now they are entering your path. Remain ready to receive what I am bringing. Stay attentive so you recognize it when it appears before you. The words I am speaking are more than sounds. They carry guidance, confirmation, and direction for the very things you have been praying about. If you dismiss this as just another message and turn away too quickly, you may miss the encouragement and breakthrough I desire to place before you. Understand this deeply. My words are never wasted. Everything I speak is sent with purpose. My words carry power, and they accomplish what I send them to accomplish. That is why I am asking for your full attention. Do not allow distractions to steal this moment from you. The enemy understands the significance of what is being spoken and will attempt to cloud your thoughts with doubt and fill your heart with anxiety. Yet I tell you plainly, beloved child, this message is for you. It belongs to you. It is my voice reaching into your soul, and I do not want you to let it pass by unnoticed. You have walked through a season when the silence felt heavy. There were days when your prayers seemed unanswered and nights when you wondered whether I still saw you. Perhaps part of you questioned whether I had forgotten you or whether the promises you held on to still remained. Yet throughout those quiet seasons, I was working in ways you could not see. I was arranging details, aligning timing, and preparing what was ahead. What appeared to be delay was preparation. What felt like absence was my nearness. What sounded like silence was heaven quietly preparing for this very moment. Now I am speaking with clarity, urgency, and unmistakable purpose, because the season of waiting is giving way to a season of fulfillment. Right, I am nothing without you, Lord. If I am your strength, let those words rise from your heart. Can you sense it even now? That stirring deep within you, that quiet awareness, that feeling that something sacred is taking place. That is my presence surrounding you. That is my spirit confirming that these words carry life and truth. I am drawing you into deeper awareness because what is ahead requires a heart that is ready. Something significant is unfolding today, not in some distant place, but within the reality of your life. Heaven is moving. Angels are carrying out my purposes. My hand is already reaching into the circumstances that concern you. You will begin to notice changes around you, answers to prayers, shifts within relationships, and signs along your path that confirm what I am saying. Yet hear me carefully. If you ignore these words, you risk overlooking the blessing I am placing before you. I speak with urgency because I desire to prepare you, not because I desire to frighten you. I am awakening your heart because I am already at work. I have heard every prayer, and I am moving even now. This is why I asked you to stop and listen. This is why I called for your full attention. Think of all the times you asked whether I was near. Think of the nights when tears filled your eyes as you asked me for a clear answer and a sign that I was still with you. This is that answer. This is that confirmation. This is the word you have been longing to hear. I want you to know with certainty that I have never left you. I have never abandoned you, and I have never ignored your prayers. I have walked beside you through every step of this journey. Now I am breaking through the silence so you can recognize it. Heaven is closer than you realize. My presence surrounds you even now, and the unseen realm is actively working on your behalf. Stay with me, listen with your heart, and receive what I am saying to you in this moment. So listen closely, my beloved child. Receive these words as nourishment for your soul, and do not treat them as something ordinary. They carry something sacred flowing directly from my heart into yours. Hold them carefully, because they were given to you for a reason. If you embrace what I am speaking and allow it to steady your heart, you will do more than endure the days ahead. You will begin stepping into what I have already been preparing for you. I am not speaking about a distant season. I am speaking about today, because something important is already unfolding. Lean in with your whole heart, because this moment is not an accident. You did not find these words by chance, and this is not just another ordinary day. I arranged this encounter long before you realized you would need it. I knew there would come a time when your heart would search for reassurance and clarity. That is why I am asking you to quiet the noise around you. Set aside the pressure, distractions, and thoughts that keep your heart restless. Be still before me and listen. If you allow the noise of the world to drown out my voice, you may miss what I am pouring into your life right now. These words are not casual or temporary. They carry purpose, and they have reached you at this very hour for a reason. The delays, closed doors, and disappointments you faced were not meaningless. I was using them to prepare your heart for this moment. I speak with urgency because I do not want you to miss the peace, healing, and breakthrough I desire to bring into your life. This is not about fear. It is about invitation. There is something I have been preparing with love, and I want your heart to be ready to receive it. What I am offering is greater than you realize. There were times when I spoke gently and you did not recognize my voice. I placed signs in your path and confirmations in your days, yet the weight you carried made them difficult to see. I do not condemn you for that because I understand the battles you have been fighting. I understand the burdens you have carried in silence. But this moment is different. I am speaking with clarity because what I am doing requires your attention, faith, and trust. If you dismiss this moment, you may overlook something precious. There is blessing, healing, and direction being placed before you, and I do not want you to miss it. This is the kind of moment you prayed for when you asked me for guidance. It is the answer to those quiet prayers you whispered when no one else was listening. I am answering you now, so open your heart and receive what you once asked me to say. My love is the reason I am speaking so directly. I am not distant from you. I am near, present, and speaking into the deepest places of your heart. I'm calling you back to stillness, back to focus, and back to listening for my voice above every other voice competing for your attention. Think about how many voices pull at you each day. Fear, comparison, guilt, disappointment, and uncertainty all compete for space in your mind. The opinions of others and the whispers of the enemy have tried to steal your peace and cloud your vision. but I am cutting through that noise and bringing clarity where confusion has lingered. Do not give those voices authority over your thoughts. Let my voice become louder than every fear that has tried to speak over you. The reason you are here is not random. I wanted you to hear this, and I do not want doubt to rob you of what I am placing before you. Do not underestimate the weight of what I am saying. My words carry life, strengthen weary hearts, and bring hope into places that once felt hopeless. When I speak, creation responds, angels move, and darkness loses its hold. If you hold on to these words with faith, you will begin to see my hand moving in ways you once thought impossible. I continue urging you to pay attention because I have already begun moving on your behalf. I have already set blessings in motion and assigned help, protection, guidance, and answers that are making their way toward you. If you close your heart, you may fail to recognize what I am bringing. That is why I am asking for your focus and your undivided attention, and I do not want you to overlook it. Can you feel that gentle stirring within your spirit, that sense that this moment carries a different weight? That is my spirit drawing near and confirming that this is not ordinary. Do not dismiss it because heaven is reaching into your life with purpose. My child, I have called you by name, and you belong to me. Guard this moment with reverence because what I am revealing is for your healing, your future, and the work I am doing within you. Hold it close because it is a gift from heaven for this very hour. Open your heart a little wider now. Heaven is not distant, and you are not as alone as you have believed. Even now, heaven is moving around you in ways you cannot yet fully see. My presence is nearer than you realize. My angels are already positioned around you. They are carrying out the assignments I have given them and preparing the way for what I am bringing into your life. Though your eyes may not yet see the evidence, movement has already begun. What seems still on the surface is already shifting underneath. The atmosphere around you is changing. The burdens you have carried are beginning to loosen their grip, and the weight that once seemed permanent is starting to lift. Perhaps you have already noticed small signs of peace, hope, or unexpected strength. Those are reminders that I am at work. That stirring within you is not coincidence. It is my presence making itself known, and my hand working in places you cannot yet see. My angels surround you with care and protection, and what is happening around you carries more significance than you realize. Today is not just another day. It bears the mark of my intervention and the purpose I have placed within it. Do not believe that your prayers were wasted, your tears ignored, or your waiting meaningless. I have seen every one of them and remembered them all. I heard every desperate prayer and every silent sigh that rose from your heart. Nothing escaped my attention. Today I am responding in ways you are only beginning to understand. Even now my angels are working in the very areas you have placed before me. They are bringing peace where there has been unrest, provision where there has been lack, and healing where there has been pain. Doors you thought were closed are beginning to open, and opportunities you thought were lost are being touched by my hand. Hearts are softening, circumstances are shifting, and things that once seemed impossible are beginning to align. Do not underestimate what is happening simply because it began in places you cannot see. Seeds grow in hidden places before they break through the soil. In the same way, what is shifted in the unseen is beginning to influence what will soon appear in the natural. That is why you feel this holy stirring. The unseen has already begun to move, and what you see with your eyes is catching up to what I have set in motion. There is purpose behind this urgency you feel. It is not fear, it is preparation. I never send my angels without purpose. They faithfully carry out my will, and today they are working on matters that concern you. Do not think yourself forgotten or unworthy of my attention. You are mine, and you are deeply loved. Because of that love, I have moved heaven into action on your behalf. I have placed protection around you and sent help where it is needed. Though you may not see every detail, the evidence will become clear. My care for you has never stopped. When peace settles over your heart, remember that I am near. When doors open where there seemed to be no way forward, recognize that heaven has been at work. I sent that help, and my purposes are being carried out for your good. Comment, Jesus be my defender, if you trust his protection. Today is holy, my child, and it bears my mark. Many days have passed with little visible change, but this day carries the fragrance of breakthrough and the timing of heaven. One day you will look back and say, "That was the day something shifted. That was the day God began moving in ways I could not yet see." Lift your eyes beyond present circumstances, because circumstances are temporary, but my word endures. What I am speaking over your life will outlast every storm. It rests upon my power, my love, and the authority of heaven itself. I know you have grown weary through long days and longer nights. I know you have wondered when answers, freedom, and change would finally come. Hear me now. This is the day answers begin to unfold and freedom starts to break through. Not in some distant future, but in the season you are standing in right now. I am already at work. Do not overlook the small signs along the way. When peace replaces fear, rejoice. When a door begins to open or a burden feels lighter, recognize my hand in it. These are the first ripples of a greater wave already moving toward you. My child, these small changes are not insignificant. They are the first signs that heaven has already begun to move on your behalf. Do not let fear continue to rule your heart, and do not dismiss what I am doing simply because it has arrived quietly. What you sense in your spirit is real, and it is evidence that my hand is already at work. The enemy will try to convince you that nothing has changed. He will whisper that these words are only emotions, that your prayers remain unanswered, and that your hopes will never come to pass. But I tell you to reject those lies and stand firmly on my word. Trust me even when your eyes cannot yet see what your spirit is beginning to recognize. Faith is not built on visible proof. Faith is trusting me before the evidence appears and holding on when circumstances seem unchanged. If I have spoken, my word is already working, and what is happening in the unseen is preparing what will soon unfold before you. Even now, resistance is weakening, delays are breaking, and obstacles are beginning to move. The angels I have assigned are carrying out my purposes, and no enemy can overturn what I have established. What I declare stands firm, and what I begin will reach its appointed purpose. So do not doubt what I am doing or minimize it because you cannot yet see the full picture. Receive it, embrace it, and walk forward in faith, knowing that my word never returns empty. Now come closer, my beloved child, because I want to speak to the deepest places of your heart. I have seen battles no one else knew you were fighting. I was there through the nights when tears filled your eyes, when questions crowded your mind, and when your heart carried burdens too heavy to explain. Even in the silence, when your prayers seemed unanswered, I was listening. I want you to know this beyond every doubt. I heard every prayer and saw every tear. There were seasons when you felt invisible, forgotten, and alone, and moments when you wondered whether I still cared. Yet even when you could not feel my presence, I was closer than your next breath. I never stepped away from you for a single moment. I gathered every tear you shed in secret and heard every prayer that ended in silence because your heart was too weary to continue. Nothing you experienced escaped my attention. My beloved, your tears are precious to me. They are not forgotten memories, but treasures I have held with tenderness and remembrance. Every tear tells a story of endurance and faith. The pain you carried was not wasted, and the nights you spent weeping were not without purpose. Even your suffering became a seed planted in faith, watered by tears, and prepared for a harvest in my timing. I know how heavy disappointment felt and how often you smiled while carrying hidden pain. You moved through your days while parts of your heart were breaking, and you fought battles that few people ever saw. Others may never understand the strength it took simply to keep going, but I saw it all. I saw every morning you rose when your soul longed to hide and rest. And I want you to hear this clearly. I am proud of the way you endured. Your perseverance was never meaningless. Every battle shaped you. Every tear watered ground I am still bringing to life. And every sleepless night drew you closer to my heart. What you thought was only pain, I was using as preparation. What felt like abandonment was actually my work of shaping, strengthening, and preparing you for what lies ahead. I was deepening your trust, refining your character, and teaching you to hear my voice more clearly. The deepest work I do is often invisible before it becomes visible. Seeds grow in darkness before they break through the soil, and much of what I was doing in you happened beneath the surface. Even when you could not see it, transformation was taking place. There were moments when you felt too weak to continue and wondered if you had anything left to give. Yet it was in those moments that my strength carried you most powerfully. My grace entered where your strength ended. When you had no energy left, my hand lifted you, and when despair tried to pull you down, my love held you steady. I have also seen the wounds caused by rejection, betrayal, and misunderstanding. I know the pain of trusting people who hurt you and the questions you carried when you wondered why it happened. But hear me clearly, I never abandoned you. Even in betrayal, I was guarding your soul, and even in rejection, I was redirecting your path towards something greater. What others intended for harm, I am working for good. So do not despise the tears you have shed, because they are not signs of weakness. They are proof that you endured, proof that you kept reaching for me even when your heart hurt. They reveal that even when you felt forgotten, you continued to call upon my name. And I want you to know this deeply, my child. Those tears have always mattered to me. They have watered the ground from which joy will grow. My word declares that those who sow in tears will reap with songs of joy, and that promise remains true for you. The season of weeping is not your permanent home, and the harvest I have prepared is drawing near. Type, Father, you know my heart, if your heart longs for his presence. I have watched you pray prayers that felt as though they never moved beyond the room where you spoke them. You thought heaven was silent and your words had gone unheard. But I assure you, every prayer reached me, and not one was lost or forgotten. Some answers came in ways you could not recognize. Some required waiting, and others were redirected because I had something better prepared. Yet none of those prayers were wasted. Every one has been held before me, and at the appointed time you will see my answers unfold in ways that leave you in awe. My timing has always been working for your good. You have walked through valleys so dark that you wondered if you would survive. You carried burdens so heavy that you questioned how much longer you could endure, and you faced storms that seemed powerful enough to overwhelm you. Yet here you are. You survived because I carried you when your own strength could go no further. Do you see it now, my child? You are still standing because I held you, and you are still breathing because I sustained you. Every battle was evidence of my presence, even when it felt hidden from view. The enemy wanted you to believe you had been abandoned, but that was never the truth. I never left your side. Even when you could not feel me, I was holding you more closely than you knew. When you thought I was silent, I was still speaking through circumstances, quiet moments, and the strength I placed within you. When you believed I was absent, I was closer than ever. The very breath in your lungs was evidence of my sustaining grace. You may carry scars from what you have endured, but those scars are not proof of defeat. They are reminders that you survived and evidence of the strength I placed within you. One day they will become part of your testimony, telling the story of my faithfulness. What once felt like a wound will become evidence of my goodness. So do not despise your journey or curse the nights when tears were your companion. Those moments were not wasted chapters in your story. They became the soil where strength, endurance, faith, and hope took root. Even when you could not see it, I was preparing you for what lies ahead. Hear me clearly now. Nothing you endured has been wasted. Every tear, every prayer, every disappointment, and every battle carries meaning within my hands. I have been weaving every piece together into a story greater than you can currently understand. What seemed broken and scattered has always remained within my care. The day will come when you look back and see things differently. You will recognize that I was present through every season and working for your good, even when the path felt confusing. You will realize that even the pain became part of the miracle, and that the very things that threatened to break you became part of your testimony. So lift your head, my child, and let your heart rest in this truth. I have seen every part of your journey, remembered every prayer, and treasured every tear. Nothing has been forgotten. Your suffering was not in vain, and your struggles were not meaningless. I am bringing beauty from places that once felt broken. I am turning mourning into dancing, sorrow into joy, and wounded places into testimonies of grace. What feels unfinished today is still being touched by my hand. And when you see what I have been doing all along, you will know without doubt that I am faithful, that I have always been near, and that my love for you is everlasting. Type Amen to declare new beginnings over your life, and share this message so that someone else who needs hope may be encouraged as well.